that's their home. They want their home to look nice. And do they have any control over these storms?
No.
No. So you're going to see your hard work get messed up. And that's what they saw for 10 years. They saw everything that they worked to build, to create for their families, destroyed.
Okay. You guys gonna be able to see?
Yeah, I'm just getting moving because of the bucket.
We got some very fine dust right here. Okay, very fine silts. Okay, you can see it's gonna blow. That's the whole point. Okay, who did I ask to help me out? Y'all step up. Okay. I need one person. Okay, someone's gonna move the fan. Okay, and I need people to throw that dirt into the fan. Okay, not literally into it, but just like that. Okay, and what we're going to see is that's going to blow that in there. We're going to make a dust cloud that will actually cover over that. And that's what they had during the Dust Bowl. They had these huge, huge dust clouds that just rolled in for hours. And we're going to show you what a town like that, or a town out in western Oklahoma or western Kansas, West Texas would look like. And it was like that for 10 years. They would roll in like once every 3 weeks. And people had to live in that. Okay. Now this dust is very fine, so you may have to scatter if it catches up in our wind. Okay. You got a big lead in there. Just hold it. I've already sorted it. It's okay. Who's ready? Okay. Turn it on high. It's already All right, here we go. Everybody watch. May have to get a little closer. Try to do it at the same time. Go ahead. There you go. Go. Keep going. Don't throw it in the ground. Throw it up.
You gotta throw it up.
Throw it up. Every 5 minutes. Keep going.
Guys, pay attention to where you see the dust accumulating.
Real good, Kip. Keep it up.
You're having school. You're in your home. This could be. I've been in blizzard.
What if you watch this? Something happened. How about you go put your face down?
We gotta do. I thought the house was supposed to get destroyed. Yeah, just dump it. Dump it.
There you go. Just kind of let it sort out. There you go. See what happens. There you go. There's what it looked like. That's it right there, guys.
Now just throw. What the house got destroyed?
That's it. Keep going. Use the rest of that in that one bucket.
Click all at once, Skip. Yeah, that's how that goes.
Okay, turn it off.
Okay, my class.
Everybody listen up.
Can you tell us what measures were taken to prevent that from happening again?
Well, I think first we got to look. So if everyone, now that we got the fan off, if you guys want to come around, the English class that came around and made your houses, look at your house. Now don't kick the don't kick the board or anything like that, but notice, you know, how the soil, how this topsoil would mound up around anything. And we have the trees there. You saw where it mounded up. And even on this side, this is where the wind, it kind of stopped it a little bit, and it slowed down as it came through here. So it you know, it mound up like that, and just as they get, listen, my class, please. Just as they'd get dug out of this one here, another one would come, and then they'd dig out from that, and another one would come. And this thing, even though this only lasted for a couple minutes, this went on for hours. And these people had to survive. They had to continue living their lives. So they were going over to their friends' houses and playing after school. Or maybe they were in school. Okay? A lot of stuff was done to the houses. Of course, a lot of these were built as fast as they could because of the where they were in the remote places that they had. They didn't have insulation. They didn't have silicone. They didn't have a lot of the things we've got now. The insulated 3-pane insulated windows and all that type of stuff. They didn't have that. And this stuff would just go in, just like normal dust. It would get in the windows and around the doors and stuff and settle on stuff. And people did whatever measures they could. They would wet cloths and put it up over the windows, or they would put it over the doors, or they would take a paste-like substance they'd make out of flour and water and bed sheets, and they would put that around the cracks that were in the walls and things, just to be able to keep that dust out. And they even mentioned that the people in this out there would mention that they would eat dust for breakfast, they would eat dirt for lunch, and they would eat dirt for dinner because it was just everywhere. And it would be on they would sit down to eat a meal, and it would accumulate on their food before they ate it. So, but as you can see, it would start drifting up and stuff. Now, it wasn't until these dust storms finally went to the East Coast and would rain mud down on those eastern coast cities, and especially Washington, D.C. with those big, beautiful marble monuments and things like that, did the government say, hey, out west, they've got a problem out there. What can we do about it? And they sent out a guy who came out and actually looked at it and found out that what we're doing is we're farming the wrong way. Literally farming the wrong way. But at the time, we farmed the way that we were taught. Okay? So people went out there and they would just farm. They would just break the ground and turn it over and plant a crop. If it didn't grow, they'd break it up again. And when they break up the soil, they're actually breaking up all the roots that are holding that. So like right now with this grass that you're on, this is good Bermuda grass, and it holds the soil really, really well. But if we were to break this up and take those roots out, that soil would have nothing to hold on to. And so what happens is the silts and the clays, the lighter particles, would actually get up into the wind. Okay, the wind would just pick it up and just blow it around just like a feather. And that's what this dramatization was to show you that stuff. Okay, so what we had to do is we had to go in and we had to plant shelter belts, which are long rows of trees that it would slow the wind down and wouldn't pick up as much soil. We also did contour farming, where we actually broke the ground in certain ways to keep the ground from blowing. Make little ridges where it would make little hills that would keep the ground air from picking it up. But the only thing that really saved out west, or the southern plains, western Oklahoma, what finally saved it was the rains came back. This was a 10-year drought that they were in. And that drought finally broke, and we started getting some rain. See, wet soil does not blow. Okay, it won't get up in the atmosphere. Mud doesn't go up in the atmosphere. So as long as we've got wet, moist soils, we can do that. Okay. Now, this year and last year, we were 11 inches low last year. We were 12 inches low on rainfall right here. Okay, for this last 2 years. So that's 23 inches that we're down for the last 2 years. We're actually in a drought right now. And it's going to take gallons and gallons of water before we're out of this. Could this possibly happen again in Oklahoma? Not on the scale that we saw before, but it definitely happens in other places like China, okay? Africa, we see a lot of this type of stuff where people are farming ground and they're not taking those precautions.
Are trees native to Oklahoma?
Out in western Oklahoma, they're not. Out in western Oklahoma, they're not native. Maybe you would see some cottonwoods or something like that would grow in some of the lower lying areas. But we got to remember that all of this used to be the tall grass prairie. Okay, all down through here. Maybe not so much in here. We're starting to see some trees and things, but out west, that is all tall grass out that way. Big tall grass with buffalo grass and things like that. There was very few trees, unless there was around watering holes and things like that. Creeks and stuff might have some trees.
Hey Brennan, do you want to open up the roof of your house to see if any dirt got in?
Yeah. He must use some strong glue or something.
I used hot glue.
I just rip it.
Yep.
Didn't get in, bro?
Oh, is there dirt in there?
Yeah, it's dirt in there.
Y'all come around and look at that.